Have you ever felt a strange vibration in your body, as if something inside you was awakening? What if I told you these signs are not coincidences, but physical symptoms of a spiritual awakening? Imagine waking up one day and realizing your body is trying to tell you something powerful, something you never noticed before. Have you ever experienced this? That inexplicable headache, sleepless nights, the fatigue that seems endless? Have you ever wondered what's really happening to you? Or maybe you felt a different energy around you, something that can't be explained with words. Are we ignoring the most important signs of our spirit? What if these symptoms are the precursor to a profound transformation, a change that can alter your entire perception of reality? Let's explore together the 5 physical symptoms of spiritual awakening that you need to know before it's too late. Get ready, because what we are about to reveal might change your life forever. Are you ready for this journey? If you enjoy this enlightening exploration, consider showing your support by clicking the Super Thanks button below. By supporting this channel, you become part of a community that values truth, self-discovery, and spiritual enlightenment. When I started noticing that something different was happening to me, one of the first things I noticed was changes in my sleep pattern. I had always been a person with a regular sleep schedule, but suddenly I started having insomnia, waking up several times during the night for no apparent reason. It seemed like my body no longer wanted to follow the usual rhythm. On some nights, I would find myself tossing and turning, unable to find a comfortable position, while my mind was racing with thoughts and reflections. It was a strange feeling, as if something inside me was adjusting, but I didn't know exactly what it was. Moreover, my dreams started to become extremely vivid and intense. Before, I rarely remembered my dreams, but now they were so real that I woke up with the feeling of having lived a second life while sleeping. These dreams were not only clear, but also carried a very strong emotional load. Sometimes I would wake up feeling extremely happy or deeply sad, depending on the dream's content. It was as if my subconscious was trying to communicate something important, something that was somehow linked to my spiritual awakening process. Another thing I noticed was the change in the amount of sleep I needed. There were days when I felt an enormous need to sleep more than usual, as if my body was exhausted from a fatigue that wasn't physical, but mental and emotional. On the other hand, there were nights when I slept for just a few hours and woke up feeling completely revitalized, full of energy and readiness to face the day. This alternation left me quite confused at first, but over time, I began to understand that my body was adjusting to new frequencies and energies. Shortly after these sleep changes, I started experiencing intense physical sensations that I had never felt before. There was a constant tingling, especially in my hands and feet, as if small electric currents were running through my body. This tingling sometimes came with a sensation of warmth, as if my extremities were being heated from within. At first, I thought it might be a circulation problem, but the sensations were intermittent and didn't seem to follow a specific pattern. Another intriguing experience was the sensation of vibration or pulsation in parts of my body. Often, I felt these vibrations in the third eye area, right in the center of my forehead. It was like there was a gentle, pulsating pressure that made me close my eyes and try to focus on that sensation. I also felt this vibration at the base of my spine, which made me think there was some energy moving along my spine. It was a sensation that made me curious and a little anxious at the same time, because it was something completely new and unknown to me. These intense physical sensations, though disturbing at first, started to become a natural part of my daily life. I began to accept that my body was responding to energetic changes that I didn't fully understand. I started practicing meditation and other relaxation techniques to try to better understand these sensations and somehow make them less uncomfortable. Although I still don't have all the answers, I realized that these sensations are signs that something profound is happening inside me, a transformation process that goes beyond the physical. Changes in appetite and digestion were another symptom that surprised me during this spiritual awakening process. I had always had a stable appetite and regular eating habits, but suddenly I started experiencing extreme variations. There were days when I felt an insatiable hunger, wanting to eat everything in sight. On other days, the mere idea of eating made me nauseous, and I could barely consume anything. It was as if my body was clearly rejecting certain foods and asking for others. Besides fluctuations in appetite, I started developing new food intolerances and an increased sensitivity to certain types of food. Foods that I used to consume without problems started causing discomfort, such as bloating and gas. This made me rethink my diet and try to identify which foods were harming me. It was a process of trial and error, and many times I felt frustrated for not understanding what my body really needed. However, little by little I realized that my body was guiding me towards healthier and more natural food choices. These digestive changes also brought problems like abdominal discomfort and a general feeling that my digestive system wasn't working properly. It was a constant bloating, a feeling of heaviness in the stomach that didn't seem to have an apparent cause. I consulted doctors and did tests, but nothing abnormal was found. It was then that I started considering that these symptoms could be linked to my spiritual awakening process. I began listening to my body more attentively and making adjustments to my diet, which brought some relief and helped me understand that these changes were part of something bigger happening inside me. If you enjoy this enlightening exploration, consider showing your support by clicking the Super Thanks button below. By supporting this channel, you become part of a community that values truth, self-discovery, and spiritual enlightenment. Energy fluctuations also became very evident during this period. There were days when I felt extremely tired and exhausted for no apparent reason. It was a fatigue that seemed to come from within, something that couldn't be alleviated with a night's sleep or simple rest. In contrast, there were moments when I felt full of energy and vitality, as if I could conquer the world. This alternation of energetic states was so abrupt that it left me disoriented and unsure of how to plan my day. At times, I felt completely disconnected, as if I were living on autopilot. It was a feeling of detachment, as if I were observing my life from the outside without really participating in it. These moments of disconnection were followed by periods of intense clarity and focus, where all the pieces of the puzzle seemed to fit perfectly. It was an emotional and mental roller coaster that made me question my sanity at times, but it also provided me with deep insights about myself and my spiritual journey. To cope with these energy fluctuations, I started practicing activities that helped me balance my energetic state, such as yoga and meditation. These practices helped me find a point of balance and better deal with the highs and lows. I learned to accept that these fluctuations were part of the process and that, instead of resisting them, I needed to embrace them and understand what my body and mind were trying to communicate. Over time, these peaks of energy and fatigue became less extreme, and I managed to find a more stable rhythm. These experiences were just the beginning of a deeper process of self-knowledge and transformation. Each symptom, each sensation, each change in my body and mind led me to explore new dimensions of myself and understand that spiritual awakening is a continuous path of learning and growth. The journey can be challenging, but it is also incredibly rewarding, as it brings me closer to my essence and the purpose I came to fulfill in this world. Another physical symptom that intrigued me was headaches and migraines. I had never been someone who suffered from frequent headaches, but during the spiritual awakening, they became more common. It was a pressure in my head, especially in the sinus area and the back of my skull, that seemed to have no apparent cause. Often, these headaches were accompanied by a feeling of tightness in the chest, as if something were compressing my heart. I became worried and consulted several doctors, but all tests indicated everything was normal. And these headaches made me think that perhaps something deeper was happening. I started researching more about spiritual awakening and discovered that many people reported similar symptoms. Headaches and pressure were often associated with the activation of energy centers in the body, especially the third eye and heart chakra. This made sense to me since I was experiencing other intense sensations in these areas. By understanding that these headaches were part of the process, I began seeking ways to alleviate them without resorting to medication. Meditation and breathing practices became my allies. Whenever I felt a headache or chest tightness, I would stop for a few minutes, close my eyes, and focus my breathing on the affected areas. I visualized a white, healing light enveloping those regions, and gradually the pain began to diminish. These practices did not cure instantly, but they provided significant relief, and more importantly, helped me understand that these sensations were temporary and part of my spiritual growth. In addition to headaches, I started feeling muscle and joint pain, especially in my back and neck. It was a constant pain that sometimes limited my movements and made me feel much older than I really am. Again, I consulted doctors and did tests, but nothing abnormal was found. These pains left me quite frustrated as they affected my daily routine and my ability to perform simple activities. It was then that I discovered that these pains could be related to the release of accumulated energies and emotional blockages in the body. During the spiritual awakening process, it is common for old emotions and traumas to surface to be released. These muscle and joint pains were, in a way, a physical reflection of this emotional cleansing process. By understanding this, I started practicing stretching techniques, yoga, and therapeutic massages to help my body release these tensions. Another symptom that worried me a lot was heart palpitations. It was a feeling that my heart was beating faster and stronger than usual, even when I was at rest. Sometimes, I felt like my heart was skipping a beat, which made me very anxious. I consulted a cardiologist and did detailed tests, but again, nothing abnormal was found. These palpitations were intermittent, and although they did not cause pain, they were quite uncomfortable. I learned that heart palpitations are also a common symptom during the spiritual awakening. They can be related to the activation of the heart chakra, which is the energy center associated with love, compassion, and emotional healing. To help calm my heart, I started practicing meditation focused on the heart chakra, visualizing a green, healing light enveloping that area. I also adopted self-care practices such as relaxing baths and moments of tranquility in nature, which helped me calm my mind and body. These experiences were just the beginning of a deeper process of self-knowledge and transformation. Each symptom, each sensation, each change in my body and mind led me to explore new dimensions of myself and understand that spiritual awakening is a continuous path of learning and growth. The journey can be challenging, but it is also incredibly rewarding, as it brings me closer to my essence and the purpose I came to fulfill in this world. Over time, I began to realize that these physical symptoms, although uncomfortable, were actually signs that I was on the right path. They forced me to slow down, pay more attention to my body and its needs, and seek ways to better take care of myself. Each new symptom was an opportunity to learn something new about myself and the spiritual awakening process. One of the most valuable things I learned was the importance of listening to my body and trusting my intuition. During this process, many pieces of advice and opinions came from people around me, some well-meaning, others not so much. But in the end, no one knows my body and my spiritual journey better than myself. I learned to trust my own inner wisdom and make choices based on what I felt was right for me, even if those choices went against the current of what others expected or believed. This journey also taught me the importance of being present in the moment. At first, I was so focused on understanding and solving the symptoms that I lost sight of what really mattered, the experience itself. When I finally accepted that these symptoms were part of my growth, I began to appreciate each moment, even the uncomfortable ones. I realized that each sensation, each pain, each change was a crucial part of my awakening process, and that by embracing these experiences, I was allowing myself to grow and evolve in ways I never imagined. Today, I continue to experience physical symptoms from time to time, but now I see them with a new perspective. They are no longer something to be feared or avoided, but rather signs that I am moving in the right direction, that I am growing and evolving. Each symptom is an opportunity to deepen my self-knowledge, take better care of myself, and connect more deeply with my spiritual essence. The spiritual awakening is a unique journey for each person, and the symptoms you experience may differ from mine. However, I hope that by sharing my story, you can find some guidance and reassurance on your own path. So, my friends, now that we've talked about these physical symptoms of spiritual awakening, I want you to reflect deeply on all this. Think, are these signs present in your life? Is your body trying to send you a message? Each of these symptoms could be a call, an invitation for you to reconnect with your essence, to open yourself to a new reality, a new way of existing. And if there is this possibility, why not explore it? Why not allow yourself to feel and understand what's happening inside you? And more, what other signs might the universe be sending you that you haven't noticed yet? Could there be other physical or emotional manifestations you're ignoring? Share in the comments if you've experienced something similar or if you're going through it now. If you found this exploration insightful and transformative, consider showing your support by clicking the Super Thanks button below. Your contribution helps us continue bringing you valuable content that delves deep into spirituality and reveals ancient wisdom. Now think with me. How would your life be if you could correctly interpret every message your body is sending you? How would it be to live in complete harmony with your inner self? Wouldn't it be incredible? If you think this makes sense, how about starting to pay more attention to the messages from your body? How about taking the first step towards this spiritual journey of self-knowledge and transformation? And remember, spiritual awakening is not something that happens overnight. It's a continuous process, a journey that requires patience, dedication, and above all, self-love. So, I leave you with this question to reflect on. What are you willing to do to connect more deeply with your essence and achieve a state of peace and harmony? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share it with those who you think might benefit from this message. And of course, activate notifications so you don't miss any new content that I'll bring here to the Sanctum of Wisdom. The journey of spiritual awakening is unique for each of us, but remember, you are not alone. We are all together in this quest for wisdom and enlightenment. Until next time, my friends, and may the light of spiritual awakening always illuminate your path.